power, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and his enablers advance their extremist, anti-equity, un-American agenda, dismantling decades of civil rights progress, upending livelihoods, incomes, and lives, and adversely affecting something they claim to care about, the GDP. Because all data supports that diversity, equity, and inclusion is actually good business. Governor Reynolds, my Republican colleagues invited you here today to promote what they see as a model of governance. Simply put, Republicans' vision of America is to be more like Iowa. Governor Reynolds, let's learn more about the state. Do you know what percentage of Iowans are white and what percentage are black?
I don't know the exact percentages, no. We're by far a larger percentage of white population.
That's correct. Iowa is 90%
yeah.
white and only 4.5% black. So that is drastically different from the national population. So when Republicans suggest Iowa should be a national model, they're advocating for a government that doesn't reflect our country. So let's talk about what this model of governance actually means in practice. In Iowa, you signed State Senate Bill 2385 to eliminate more than 80 state boards and commissions, including those representing Black Iowans, Latinos, women, people with disabilities, and Asian, Pacific Islanders, communities that are marginalized and vulnerable and have fought for decades to have a seat at the table. Now, Republicans call this fiscal responsibility. I just call it erasure. Governor Reynolds, the Iowa Legislative Services Agency conducted a nonpartisan analysis of that bill. Do you know how much money was saved when you eliminated those commissions?
Actually, it was not about saving money. It was about putting more resources behind the Department of Human Rights so that we could actually provide them more resources for minority communities.
Reclaiming my time. Let me help you with the math. Roughly $112,000 in your state budget was saved. So that is 0.001%, barely a rounding error. So honestly, given your current salary, Iowans would have saved more money just by eliminating your salary. Mr. Chair, I ask unanimous consent to enter the LSA fiscal note into the record.
Without objection, it's ordered.
In addition to cutting boards and commissions, Iowa started closing government agencies. Now, this is the same thing that Elon Musk and Donald Trump are trying to do at the national level. Now, Governor Reynolds, let's be clear. I have no problem with Iowans, but I do with your leadership. So let's look at the results, shall we? In Iowa, there have been skyrocketing maternal mortality rates. Mr. Chair, I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record this article titled, "Iowa's Maternal Death Rates Rise as Birthing Units Close."
Without objection, it's ordered.
In Iowa, students' test scores have been declining. Mr. Chair, I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record this article titled, "Iowa Scores in 50 State Education Rankings Decline from Years Past."
Without objection, it's ordered.
In Iowa, more kids are going hungry. Is this the kind of government efficiency y'all are talking about? Mr. Chair, I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record this article titled, "Iowa's Food Pantries Hit Record High Numbers This Summer."
Without objection, it's ordered.
So let's be clear about what Republicans are actually doing. You are making people poorer. You are making people hungrier, more vulnerable, and gutting their civil rights. These attacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion, they were never about efficiency. They certainly were never about merit. It's just a deliberate, calculated attempt to erase marginalized communities from government while eliminating essential services for workers, families, and the people that we are actually elected to protect. They want a country for and by millionaires that advances white supremacy, and that is the real agenda. And I will do everything I can to speak truth to power and to stand in the way of that. I yield back.